If you like working with fleece, but you need some new project ideas, watch today's video and I give you a new one. Today I am going to show you how you can take fleece, cut it into 1.5 inch strips, braid it, and make a fantastic play mat for a baby, a rug for their nursery, a rug for the shower, super absorbent. It is a super easy and fantastic project. The one thing that I do want to say is, I say it a couple times in the video, when you're braiding, braid very loose and your project will turn out fantastic. So on this project, we start with 2 yards of fabric, 2 yards of fleece. So watch to the end and you can see how big my rug turns out, and then you can gauge how big you want to make your project and how much fabric you'll need for that. So let's get started. For the play mat, I have purchased 2 yards of fleece, and I am going to cut them in 1.5 inch strips approximately. So don't worry about huge precision, but I like using a rotary cutter, and just going to cut these in 1.5 inch strips. And there we go. And as you can see, there are fuzzies everywhere. That's just, if you've ever worked with fleece, that's the nature of the beast with that. There's fuzzies. So after you cut your strips into 1.5 inch, wash and dry them. So this stack here has been washed and dried. Just wash and dry the whole thing, and then I will show you how we are going to braid these together. So turn each one over, give it a snip to make a little hole. Do that on both of them. So you have a snip on each of them. You lay the snips on top of each other, and you take the tail of one, push it through, draw it tight, and now you have joined your fabric. Okay, to start the project, you're going to need to have 3 strips of your fleece, cut about 1.5 inches wide. Put all 3 of them together and just make one knot. And have a nice, good 3-inch end there, and pull it really tight. Then I use a board and a clamp. So I'm going to clamp the end tight. There we go. And then we braid, probably 4 or 5 inches. If you're not familiar with braiding, it's outside to inside, outside to inside. So here's outside to inside, outside to inside, outside to inside. I'll go a couple more. Okay, so there's what your braid looks like right now, and it just makes a V pattern in the middle. So the big picture is this is going to get braided in a circle, continuous circle. So we're not going to be doing any sewing. We're going to braid and then join as we get to the end of one of your strips. So to start with, we need to start the circle. So I have my knot here. I take my ends and I turn it and I feed it into some of the stitches that you've already done. So you take your beginning tail and feed it into these stitches. It can be the same stitch or it can be a different one. It looks like I'm going to put this one back up. So I have 2 that went through the same stitch and one was a different one. So you can see we have the beginning of a circle. And so now we're going to continue braiding in a manner like this and catching these inner stitches as you go. Okay, I actually am changing camera positions one more time so that you can see this. And these are the tails. We have the 3 strands outside to inside, outside to inside, outside to inside. This one now, instead of going in, it's going to catch fabric first. It's going to go into a loop on your center braid, the next natural spot. I didn't skip anyone here. As we get going, you'll probably start skipping some. So I'm going to turn my clamp, and we go outside to inside. 1, 2, 3. The fourth motion is this same piece of fabric coming up. Oh, and I did skip on this one. It's kind of just a natural where you feel it should go in. If I would have put it there, it gets too bunched up. So I skipped one, and I went to this loop. Pull it through. These are the tails. They're still there. In a second, they're going to be out of your way. So we have 1, 2, and 3. Let me do one last one and come back after I've done more loops. 1, 2, 3. The fourth motion is skipping one, going up the next loop. I always went up from the bottom so that I can see where my fabric is. 1, 2, 3, come up from the bottom. Okay, let me braid some more, and I'll come back and show you from a different camera angle so that you can make sure you can master how to braid a playmat. Okay, I am excited to show you what 2 yards of fleece makes. This is right at 23 inches wide. What I would caution you is make sure your braids are nice and loose. So I am going to decide how much bigger I want to make this, but that's what I wanted to show you, what 2 yards of fleece makes on this braided playmat or rug for your nursery. As always, thanks for watching DIY on the House. If you have any questions or comments, please comment down below, and check back more often for more videos. Thank you.